What are your big takeaways from opening day 2024? So I'll go first, and then you can go if you want. Now, my observations, I've got spaghetti western, rodents, and Baywatch. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make garlic fries, a soft pretzel, a hot dog, and nachos, which I'd enjoy all of those items at the ballpark, all of them. That would cost me about $9,000 these days. But anyway, so number one. Calm down. All right, so to answer the question, what are your big takeaways from opening day 2024? It was just refreshing, right? I woke up, there's ball on. I worked out. I went for a walk. I watched on my phone while I was walking. I got ready for work. I had a game on. Now, my big takeaway from this, I'm going to go spaghetti western. The good, the bad, and the ugly. You know that? That was a spaghetti western back in the day. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Anyway, I'm going to start with the good. DODGERS, Dodgers. I got the Dodgers. I got Mr. Burns. I got the Snakes. Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, putting the St. Louis Cardinals in a blender. Have we done a wellness check on Sir Scratchoff's Cardinals? Have we checked on him? I don't know. The Big Blue Wrecking Crew. Just what you expect. The home opener. All right, played a couple of games, but this was the U.S. opener, and the Dodgers looked amazing. I was annoyed by modern baseball, though, as Glass now went, I think it was like 6 innings. He had 81 pitches. They took him out. Like, you couldn't get him out there for another inning? His arm might fall out. Fall out of the skin. Now, Corbin Burns was like a surgeon. It was a surgical performance for him, and that is a big-time pickup for the Orioles. People say I'm too negative about the Orioles, but that is a big-time guy. And if he's healthy going into the playoffs, that should be a guy, Burns, that can set you up to win the first game of every series. Put you in position to win the first game of every playoff series. He absolutely bedeviled the Halos. How about Arizona? The Diamondbacks disemboweling the Rockies. 14-run inning on opening day. How are those tickets being sold for the Rockies? How's that going? They sell a lot of tickets after that? Get people fired up? Yeah. Team that's as bad as the Rockies, the Athletics. I loved this. We're going to talk more about it coming up in a few. I thought this was in the good category. Oakland fans held a parking lot protest on opening day, and I'll get into it more later, but the stadium was almost completely devoid of fans when the game started between the A's and Guardians. And there were people having a big party out in the parking lot as the team is preparing. Of course, years from now, they're going to move to Las Vegas. Now, the bad, how about the Cubbies? Craig Counsell's debut as Cubs manager, they blow, I believe it was 3 leads against the reigning champion Rangers, who get the walk-off win. And then the Cubbies get the double whammy on opening day. Not only do they screw up and fumble a win, but their ace, Justin Steele, the man of steel, left the game. The man of steel should not have a bad hammy, but his hammy went whammy. So he does have a bad hammy. Yikes! That's a troubling sign. That's a troubling sign there in that, and that was not in Chicago. That was in Texas. So you can't blame it. It's the cold weather. That's why. All right. Now the ugly, which was actually, I put this. It was so ugly it was good. The cheating Astros blowing a 4-0 lead over the Yankees. 4-0 lead they had. You had your big-time, battle-tested pitcher, Framber Valdez, on the mound. You really hate to see it. Valdez, he's a guy that sucked at 8 time you cannot suck. He gets a 4-0 lead. He then walks 6 batters and he gives up 5 hits in 4 2/3 innings. Now, he didn't get the loss. The bullpen got the loss, but Valdez didn't hold the lead and couldn't even make it 5 innings. And remember, last year, in the second half last season, his ERA was around 5. This guy was a total stud a couple years ago, and now he is going down, 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 down. All right, now, page 2 here. We move to our obligatory Maller monologue on the gambling scandal involving Shohei Ohtani and his interpreter. And while many in the media that are in bed, in cahoots with baseball, are trying to ignore this story, let me give you the condensed recap, because there have been some medium to large developments depending on how you analyze this stuff. So the commissioner, Rob Manfred, said that Major League Baseball is committed to its investigation of the scandal surrounding Shohei Ohtani and hopes it will take a, quote, short, close quote, time to resolve. Now, Manfred defended also the fact that Major League Baseball, while investigating Shohei Ohtani for gambling, is in bed with gamblers. Now, again, I like gambling. I'm an adult. Whatever. I think you should be able to gamble if you want. But if you're playing, it's a problem. It's an issue. And so Manfred defended being a partner with the gambling world. And then he gave this whole rap. Well, it's a privilege to play baseball, and you have to follow certain rules that other people don't have to follow, but you get paid a lot of money. That's what he implied. So let's get back to the point. Manfred wants a, quote, short investigation. How much confidence do you have in Major League Baseball's oversight in the Shohei Ohtani story? So I'm not sure what's below zero. I know you can have below zero, but on the scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to go 0, below 0. Major League Baseball, let me tell you something. Their investigative arm is filled with rodents. Okay, actual vermin in Major League Baseball's investigative arm. The 3 blind mice. Okay, in fact, that's even mean to the blind. I believe Inca Terror, Blind Emmett, and that terrible caller we have, Andrew from Bakersfield, would be better investigating this than the actual Major League Baseball investigative team. Now, my example A. All right, here's my example. The Major League Baseball investigative arm was tipped off years ago that there was a baseball team cheating. All right, the ass 1, 2, 3 holes, and they found no wrongdoing. Let me repeat that. They were cheating. There were videos of them banging on trash cans, more likely than not used a buzzer and all this contraband, a whistle. And baseball investigators said, "No, we're good. It's kosher. We're all good." Now, as for Ohtani himself, there continues to be a lot of circumstantial evidence that is not looking good. Right? We talked about this in a previous episode of the show. A bookmaker bragged about him being a client, like openly talked about it to his associates in Vegas that Ohtani was on his bankroll, which doesn't look good. Also, when the story became in the public theater, the first move Ohtani made was hire a crisis PR manager. Now, you don't know who the guy is. His name is Matthew Hiltzik. He is known as the number one Hollywood. He's the Hollywood fixer. Guy lives in New York. But here are some of the names of celebrities that got in trouble that he cleaned up the mess. Well, he kind of cleaned up the mess. Johnny Depp. Remember when he was in that trial with Amber Heard and it was really ugly, back and forth, he said, she said. And this is the guy Johnny Depp hired. This is the guy Pirate to the Caribbean guy hired. All right. How about Hillary Clinton? She's had some scandals. He worked with her. Alec Baldwin. Okay, he's had a bunch. And here's a name that you don't want to be associated with. This is the Hollywood fixer that used to work for Harvey Weinstein, the scoundrel of scoundrels, they say in Hollywood. But wait, there's more. Ohtani also hired a guy named Andrew Bretler. Another guy, you probably don't know who that is. He is a top-ranking Hollywood lawyer when you're in a whole lot of trouble and you're a celebrity. This guy's clients include Danny Masterson, who was a convicted rapist, Armie Hammer, and Prince Andrew, who's had a few problems along the way. All right, so that's he's in bed again with a guy that the publicist, the fixer, who worked with Weinstein, and the lawyer who worked with Prince Andrew and Danny Masterson. All right, final point. Last stop, we go to Tampa. Here's another story that should be much bigger. It's not because of the team. Wander Franco. Remember him, Wander Franco? We remember him. Wander Franco is back in the headlines. He's also back on administrative leave. So where is this story going? It is going like Baywatch. He's treading water. He's spinning his wheels. Franco stands accused of having a sexual relationship with an underage girl and then breaking money laundering laws by paying hush money to the mother. Now, when this story came out, we had a couple of guys that said that this is like standard practice in the Dominican. That in some other countries where there's like a business agreement between the parents, they get the money, and then whatever happens. Anyway, it's illegal in the Dominican Republic, but he has not been criminally charged. So it's just an accusation. This guy was the face of that team. He was the star shortstop and all that, and he has not played or worked out for the Tampa Bay Rays since August. But technically, he is still a member of the team, and he is still collecting his $174 million salary. But that will likely end by the summer. And the chances of him playing another game, I think Hollering James has a better chance of playing another big league game than he does.